and my main career was a teacher, and I used to write a lot. And basically, because I love music and I was playing music, I used to play out at parties and stuff like that, I decided, why didn't I put the two together to write about music? And that's one of the reasons I started the magazine. But the whole thing started when I actually got into promotions, and I was involved in a big concert at Wembley, where they brought over quite a lot of the R&B artists at the time, like the Fugees and Blackstreet and Snoop Dogg and all of that. So I did a magazine, a program for it. And so I did it, and I took it to The Voice and for an exchange of advertising. But they said, okay, we can't advertise with you, but do a write-up for us, and we'll print it. So they printed it, and they quite liked it. So they said to me, well, why don't you come and work for us? And that was it. I just went to work for The Voice. It was then the Journal. They had their own offices, the Journal. I worked for the Journal until they closed down, and then I went to The Voice itself in Brixton. But while I was there, I met with a lady who wanted to do her own magazine, and I kind of gave her a hand with it, and I, in fact, ended up doing the whole thing. But what happened was she won an award for it, but she obviously was so excited she forgot to mention me. So anyway, one of my good friends, that was Michael Simpson, he came to me and said, Melissa, you've done it, why don't you do one? And basically I chose reggae music because when I went into the stores, there weren't any reggae music magazines there. There was R&B, there was pop, there was other things that was representing their own cultures, but there wasn't any reggae magazine. And I said to myself, well, we can't just say, well, we need something there, we're gonna have to try and do something. So I decided to put it together. And even though I didn't have any idea of what I wanted to do, as I said, this guy, Mikey Simpson, who at the time was running MCS Records, he now owns the rock radio station. He came with a template and said, try this, and this is how you do it. So I kind of like self-taught myself how to do it. And so I started the magazine I researched for it in 1996 while I was still working at The Voice. And then in 1999 I printed my first edition, and I call it Gargamel because at the time Buju Banton was king of the airways, and I quite liked his music and stuff, so I called it Gargamel because he said he would support it and this and that, but he didn't, and I still continue with the name. But then it's like later on I kind of like wanted to progress with it, so I kept the name. Anyway, to get distributed, it was like a thing where I just kind of was so confident that it would sell that I went to Virgin Records and I said, look, this is a magazine. I see everything else on the shelves, but I don't see a reggae magazine. Would you take it? And they said, yeah, why not? And they took it, and then I took it to HMV, and then when I took it to all of the stores of HMV, and then W.H. Smith contacted me and said, look, we would like to distribute this, and then at the end, the rest was history. But what happened was that after a certain amount of time, they wasn't, the administration, I wasn't happy with W.H. Smith because they were like selling the magazine, but they were saying they weren't selling it. So they wouldn't give me back the returns and stuff like that. So what I did was to change the name, because I couldn't continue with Gargamel. I changed the name and made it free, which means that I gave it to the people, and then the advertisers would then advertise because they knew that it was going to whoever they wanted it to go to, But yeah, I mean, over the years, it's like a trial and error situation where I've had to kind of like, trust in people to help me with it. And I'm pleased to say I've got one of my original writers that started with me from the beginning of I started the magazine. That was Kwaku, sitting at the back there. He was one of my writers. He wrote about African music, but he also helped with, establishing the magazine as well. And even Mandingo did, I think, a column or two once or twice for me, But basically, I did it. I was able to do the magazine out of the generosity of these people, because my writers were people that from all walks of life that wrote about music that they liked, and so I would edit it with my knowledge of English and that, and being an English teacher, I just kind of edited and put it together. And I was really lucky in that I got a lot of people to support it. Although I didn't get as much out of it as I thought I would. Later on in life, when everything, I think it was the 2000, everything went to computerized, and so we had to change with the time. So what I did was to put it online. But I didn't continue with it because I'd given it everything I had. It took all my money. I remortgaged my house and everything else. So I decided that, getting on in life, let somebody else do something for the reggae thing. I'm going to have to wind up. But yeah, but basically, I changed the name to GMAG, and it's still online. I put most of the archive stuff online. So the website is www.gmag.org.uk, and the information is still there. You can have a look and see what we've done in the past. But yeah, that's what I did, and now I just continue to do that. I'm going to revamp it this year and bring it back to life, and hopefully I'll have the support of the community like I did from before.
So again, we've had a little glimpse into each of the careers of these fantastic representatives of women in sound. So we're going to throw it over to you now in terms of any comments, insights, or questions you may have for our panel. So